Hey, Charlotte. Voting isn't just going to the polls on Election Day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity.
They sure are. How to Vote? It's a tool created by Democracy Works. It breaks down the options your state offers for casting a ballot, empowering you to decide when and where to vote.
Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. How to Vote, a tool created by Democracy Works, takes the guesswork out of the voting process.
Don't let those assholes confuse you.
You decide when and where you're going to vote this year at howto.vote.
Hey there.
Welcome
back.
Welcome to Family Home Evening,
With Bad Mormons.
the show where it's not really evening, but it's the middle of the day.
They don't need to know our secrets, that we drink bottles of wine during the day.
What bottle are you drinking right now?
We're drinking a 2019 Melbic, a Kirkland Melbic from Costco. It's all right.
Sounds fancy.
What are you drinking? Besides the same glass of wine that I just talked about, because we're both drinking it.
I'm also drinking Liquid Death Mountain Water, murdering my thirst, because I'm very hungover still from the debauchery that happened yesterday.
Yesterday was fun. It was nice.
It was fun. Let's talk about, let's just breeze through what we're watching real quick. I gotta mention, I watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched After Truth on HBO back to back. And I'm still kind of trying to process it, but I feel a little less hatred towards the people who are Trump supporters now because they're being manipulated just as we are.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
like both sides are being manipulated.
Exactly. And so you think, I'm sure everybody on both sides thinks, how could those people be so stupid? You know, aren't they seeing what I'm seeing? And it turns out we're not seeing anything remotely similar at all. Like everything that I see, they don't see. And everything that they see, I don't see.
Right.
And it's done that way by design. And it's really kind of fucking creepy.
Right.
So I highly recommend you guys check those out. And then we'll talk a little bit more about it maybe next week. But
and not to go on a tangent or anything, and I get that we're not seeing the same things, but there are news clips of him speaking out of his own mouth that should be concerning to you, Trump supporters, that I don't quite understand. But I'll leave it at that because we could go on for hours.
Of course, yeah, there's inherent wrongness about that whole campaign and administration. But just in general, like, there have always been opposite sides of the political spectrum, but
right.
Never before has it been on the brink of, like, fucking civil war.
Right, which is...
like it is now.
Right, exactly.
And I felt like there was a lot of insight from watching those two things. So, anyways, I highly recommend you watch it. You should watch it, and then we can talk about it a little bit more maybe on the next episode.
That's a good idea, because I do want to watch it. I came in, like, on the last 10 minutes of it, and I really liked what I saw with that. So I need to go back in and watch it from the beginning.
I'll watch it with you, and I'll take notes.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
We could have could we dedicate a whole episode to it?
I mean, we might. It's pretty heavy shit.
And I find that it's interesting. It's not quite funny or drunk, but, you know.
Who says we can't be funny and drunk when we're talking about serious shit?
We do it every day.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and repent right now. I have a lot of things to repent for, but I especially want to repent for my behavior yesterday.
Which you will, by the way, so we recorded yesterday, but we couldn't do an intro because we were wasted. And so we've spliced together all the best bits. It's pretty coherent. It's pretty good. But what you're going to be listening to right after this is what we recorded yesterday.
Yes, it started out as a Zoom call between me and my friend Erica and my friend Cortney. And we were, kicking around some ideas, having a little creative brainstorming session and drinking wine. And then about an hour and a half later, we were all pretty shit-faced. And we're like...
And then I came home from work and I said... we should make this a podcast episode since we have everyone on the phone.
Yes, and we did. And I was so not in a state to be recording that I nearly ruined the entire episode many times. So I'm glad I was able to edit some of that stuff out.
No, it was really good. And, it was just, you were in the moment having a good time.
I was having a very good time.
Right.
I recorded a little bit more later on after the one that we're about to play with Erica. It was just Erica and I trying to tell stories, and I was embarrassed for myself. I was so drunk. There was a long moment of pause, and then you can hear Courtney and Erica saying, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I fell down," which I don't remember.
I'm not gonna lie. After we finished recording, I was drunk, but not nearly as drunk, and I decided to go watch TV because I was like, I don't know where this is going, but there's no structure to it, and I already know this isn't going to work, so I'm just going to go.
Yeah, and I can barely make sentences. In fact,
It was
they
a
were
little
asking,
like half face, like you can't see me, but I'm kind of tilting over with my eyes slit, like you're about to go to sleep.
I should have gone to sleep.
But you were like, no, I've got this story about Logan Canyon.
Saying last names all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Just ruining everything. So we cobbled it together, and we're going to present to you a very fucking funny story. We were able to get Lauri on the phone as well.
That is a miracle in of itself.
Yeah, we couldn't get her on the Anchor audio because everybody knows we use Anchor to record our podcasts, but we were able to put her near
speakerphone.
Put her on speakerphone and put her near the action. So sometimes it's a little hard to hear, but it's a really fucking great story, and I'm glad that those two were able to tell it. So without further ado, here is the story of Courtney and Lauri and their trashy daytime TV star adventure.
So welcome to Family Home Evening, the multi-vocal episode where we have Mandy, Charlotte, Lauri, Erica, and Courtney as your hosts for tonight.
That's 5 people. We haven't had 5 people before.
Welcome.
Yay!
Hello!
Ladies, everybody's on. We're all drunk. We've been drinking all night, and we have been dying to tell a story that our listeners really want to hear. They don't know they want to hear it, but I'm pretty sure they want to fucking hear this story.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
There's a story starring Lauri and Cortney and their adventures on an airplane to a big city and a fabulous adventure. Ladies, which one of you wants to take this away?
I'm gonna let Courtney start while I situate myself over here.
Okay, fair enough.
So, are you looking for how this came to fruition?
Yeah, let's go from the beginning.
Start
I
at
want to
the
hear
very beginning.
every detail.
I don't know if you know this, but Lauri and I like to drink.
And at this time, we were day drinking a lot.
We had gone to a party somewhere, and we came home, and we were laying on the couch of two separate couches. And this is the home, the Utter Street home, which we've had on the podcast before, the historical home that we used to rent. We used to like to watch talk shows, like crappy talk shows.
Specifically Courtney. It was her passion in life, and I was just riding the train. I'm just like, where are we going? Bus driver, and she's like, it's going to be Ricky Lake, it's going to be Sally Jesse Raphael, except I don't think there was a Raphael, I think it was just Sally Jesse, Montel, who else do we have? Geraldo.
Anytime you can watch a show and see somebody else's life worse than yours, I think you're doing okay.
I just want to interject here. I just want to say we were all guilty of watching the daytime talk shows.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to blame it on any one person. That was a simple fact of life. We drank until we blacked out, and then we woke up at 1 p.m, and all you could do was nurse your hangover through Sally Jesse Raphael, Maury Povich, Geraldo Rivera, Jerry fucking motherfucking Springer. Okay.
On the flip side, at 2 a.m, like 1, 2, 3 a.m, there were a few talk shows that would air late at night for drunkards like Lauri and I. Because the way that this started, I do believe, is we were watching a particular talk show, and a commercial came on that said, "Hey, do you know someone who's pregnant and won't stop partying?" And I giggled and I said, "Hey," I was too lazy to get off of the couch, and I said, "Hey, Lauri, you should call and say that you're me." somebody who's
I
pregnant
did.
and won't stop
It was
partying.
a rotary telephone too, where I had to like switch the numbers around in a circle.
Yep. So Lauri was the one who had called into the show, and granted, our time was like 2:30 in the morning, and she said, "My name's Cortney. I have a friend, Lauri. She is pregnant, and she just will not start partying. I'm really concerned." And that was that.
Except I want to make a correction, Courtney. This was before I was working at the bar, so I was still at Boundary Bay in the prep kitchen, and it was fully, I want to say, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you and I were just shit-faced already, and it was just you and I, because everybody else had to work, and you're like, get up and call, and it was just like, oh, man. I remember when it aired, my coworkers were, everybody gathered in the bar, like, for the customers, the bartenders, everybody except for me and then like one other person. And I was just like, dude, I can't go up there because I was mortified. And then I got chewed out. But like a handful of people had to come down and tell me how messed up and how what a fucked up person I am.
Lauri, you're going to have to repent, because what happened was we left that message, and then they called the next day, and you went to work at the prep kitchen at Boundary Bay.
That's
and
right.
They started calling me at the house, and I started calling you going, oh shit, they're calling
I
us. They
remember
want us
that.
on the show. Are we going to do this? And you're just like, shit, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So.
And I was just like, I'm taking this time off of work. You just denied me the Radiohead concert. I'm fucking going. And I went. Yep. And then we had to solidify our story because they're like, we need to interview you individually. Now you make sure no one else is in the room with you, right? You promise? And they're like, we're going to put you to a verbal contract that nobody else is in the room with you. And they tried to make it all serious. And we're like, yeah. And then the other person's right there. Cool. And then they called Courtney while I was at work. And then Courtney called me at work and was like, fuck, they're trying to get us on the show. Are we really going to do it? And I was like, yeah, we're going to fucking do it. And then, so we had to come together and make sure our story was real because they did the whole interviewing you in separate rooms.
You know how sometimes, like, when you're drunk, you do something and you think it's a good idea or you think it's funny,
right.
And you, like, go to sleep and don't think there's going to be any consequences. And then you wake up in the morning and your consequences call you on the telephone. And they say, like, well, do you think that you guys would want to come on the show? They were immediately interested. They asked us for, there's like stuff that goes into it. They want like pictures. They want like like Lauri is saying, they want like a verbal contract from you. So I had to go down. Like I immediately had to go down to Kinko's because like we didn't have like computers and like file sharing at our house at that time. So I had to send them a couple of pictures of Lauri and I to prove that we weren't is the operative word. And then in like Lauri was saying, the conversations they have with us where they're asking us like interview questions. One of the questions I specifically remember them asking me is, do you have all of your teeth?
Wow.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
They had said there are numerous times where we've done our shows like, I'm hot enough to be a model, and we fly them out here and they have no front teeth. So, like, do you guys have your teeth? Do you have your hair?
That is the weirdest possible thing that I can think would be a prerequisite to going on a show like this. No, there's worse, actually. Never mind.
You have to be at least marginally okay looking to be on our show about
I bet you, though, that Jerry Springer does not have those prerequisites. He probably says, how many teeth are you missing?
The more the merrier. Another thing, like Lauri was saying, is you have to have like the basics. You have to have the fundamentals of your backstory, and the fundamentals of our backstory, if I remember correctly, is Lauri was at the time she was underage. I think she was 19. Our backstory was she was promiscuous. It was the father of her baby was between two people. My baby's daddy is either the cook at KFC or he in jail. And that's all we really have to stick with.
Uh-huh.
So take it away, Lauri.
Oh, well, that was, I guess, I don't know. Where do we go from there? We got our
So you
shit
got your plane
together
tickets?
yeah, it was like 3 days, I think, and they flew us out.
They did decide to send us plane tickets, and this is just to show how mature Lauri and I are. We got dropped off at the SeaTac airport, and we had a fart machine with us, and
I forgot about
put the fart machine in Lauri's back pocket and walked around the food court, and I kept pressing the button so she would walk by people who were eating, letting out little farts.
And the best part was that she freaking sat in the stall next to me, and then we started just setting it off, and it was just one of those Howard Stern fart machines, so you had like 7 different settings. It wasn't just the same repeated sound, and it was just like a minor squeak one, and then a really like rumble like one. She started like just pushing the button like off and on. She snuck it into the stall with me or my purse or something like that, but somehow I ended up in a bathroom stall with the fucking fart machine, and then Cortney outside like making these comments like, geez, are you okay in there? Like, I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, Cortney, like I just have to fucking piss so bad and you're just killing me right now.
Can I just interject, by the way, that I was really excited to be a part of your story. Like, I really, really wanted to like go on the adventure with you. And I tried to get the days off from my evil boss at the co-op, and she would not let me go. I was supposed to be Cortney's like lesbian life partner, and we were worried about Lauri's well-being and whatever. And
Were you going to be her sister on the show or just a friend?
No, I was just going to be a friend. It was all made up.
Well, yeah, duh. But
Yeah.
like, that's why I wondered, like,
But I was just like, all I needed was 3 days off from work, and my fucking boss wouldn't give it to
she's
me.
the worst.
Anyway, sorry,
That
go on.
goddamn Radiohead show I missed.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, go on,
So
go on.
We get on the plane, and we get flown to a city that is not on the West Coast for the show. And when we arrive at the airport, there is a car, it wasn't a limo, but it was just like a car that like drove us to our hotel.
I'd say. I mean, it was like it's like a half limo.
It was nicer than my
nicer
Honda
side.
Civic. We went to they took us to our hotel, and we got to the hotel. There was a like deep dish pizza waiting for us there, and like a 6-pack of bottled water, and like a 6-pack of Coca-Colas or something.
Mhm.
And we went up to our room and ate some pizza. We were told that we had
Which we proceeded to drink all of in wine.
We had started eating some pizza. We went downstairs to like, I guess we have to step back a moment, because the premise of the show is pregnant and won't stop partying. So we had to be able to prove that Lauri was pregnant.
Yes, we forgot about this part where I
was going to ask about that. Did you bring this item with you, or did you like go procure it on the streets somewhere in the city you were at?
This was pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11 is a very important note here. And so they told me that I was going to have to prove that I was pregnant. And so I was a genius at the time, and I had 2 friends who were pregnant, and I went to the pharmacist, and I think it might have been Cortney who had the idea, I'm sure it was, and we got urine sample containers and had my pregnant friends pee in them, so I could then fly them to Chicago with me, and then I could put the pregnancy test in the pregnant pee so I could prove to the producers that I was in fact pregnant. And I had it all planned out. I was wearing my raver pants, my big baggy ass pants, and I had 2 pairs of underwear on, and the exterior pair of underwear was one of the full ass ones, like full butt ones, so I could tie a long jockey sock to the end of it, and then the urine sample container hung right behind my knee, and I tied that to my leg, and then I wore my raver pants over it so I could wear that to the bathroom and not get caught because we were gonna get in trouble, you know. So I
Wait. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure we all understand this. So you have a sample container of urine that you've taken.
Two of them. I have two urine
you have
sample
two
containers.
urine
One
samples.
of them was a woman who smoked pot while she was pregnant. The other one was a sober woman, because I wasn't sure what kind of test they were going to give me.
Oh, God.
And I was just like, I got to cover all my bases here.
We call it doubling down on your pee.
Okay, go on. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Totally.
Okay, go on.
So that was the part we had skipped over, right? So I forget where we were to get ourselves current now.
Basically, the next day, they took Lauri out to film her little spots where they have her walk around a playground and rub her belly. I'm pregnant. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep on drinking.
The introduction section. Yep.
Let me know if I think I remember this correctly. It's well, the pot helps with the morning sickness.
Yeah, I did say that. I think.
I was really scared being separated from Lauri, because I didn't know what they were saying to her, what was happening. Is she gonna crack? Is there gonna be like something said that we haven't already prepared and covered bases on?
Right.
So I got a little bit nervous, and I called down and ordered room service in the form of a bottle of wine. And they said sure, and they brought it up, and the guy that knocked on the door and gave me the wine said, well, I'm sorry, but I have to check your room. We have a lot of guests from other talk shows on here, and we just need to make sure there's nobody underage in your room or that shouldn't be drinking in your room. And so he searched the room and had me sign off, and that's when I realized that it was $30 per person per night, and we had a hefty balance that we needed to work through that evening. So I started drinking to make myself feel better about Lauri being and then Lauri got back, and I said, she told me about her day, and I said, sweet, we should order fancy dinners and drink a lot of wine because we have to spend this much money to make me feel better about myself.
And while I was filming, I got propositioned by one of the other guests who were, she was also pregnant and partying. She was asking me if I knew where to get any crack cocaine. So I was just like, gee, oh man, can't, she's like, don't tell this show that I do this, because I only told them that I do weed and alcohol, but you know where to find any fucking crack.
Oh my God.
That's not good.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, these girls were
We
desperately
just
addicted to drugs. It was so depressing.
We just flew into this town where we know nobody, and you know where to get any crack cocaine.
Topic is pregnant and partying, and these girls are like full blown, like 7-8 months pregnant, asking me for crack cocaine, telling me they're eating ecstasy every day. I'm just like, what did I get myself into? Jesus Christ.
Hold on, I just want to take a pause here for a second. When we started this funny joke, and like when you guys started this funny, like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we did this thing? It turned into, when you guys got to this point at your hotel and meeting these people, suddenly it turned into like a real, actual situation where people were fucking making really bad choices and like trying
That was my first sense of it, yeah.
Right.
At the park, yep. That was my first, like, oh shit, this isn't a fucking joke anymore.
And the only reason I want to bring it up too is because it's like, it's funny when you think about it, when you're a like middle class white girl, drinking in the middle of the afternoon, watching daytime TV or whatever, you're like, oh, this is funny, this is hilarious. Holy shit, like there's a fucking girl who's 8 months pregnant and asking me for crack cocaine. Like, this actually, what I thought was funny is actually a real thing, and this is fucking
depressing.
Kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was. It really did. I think that's why Courtney and I drank like
it might have been
bottles of wine that night.
Oh,
we literally drank till like 5 or 5:30 in the morning. Our call time down at the lobby to get shuttled to the studio was, I think, 6 a.m. and we were drinking till like 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
A couple of other things that need to be thrown into that is we did go downstairs on the first night that we were there, and we tried to go across the street. My main concern was I wanted to find out if the pregnant pee would hold up on air travel, so we needed pregnancy tests. So we went downstairs, and as we attempted to exit the hotel, somebody stopped us and said, "Hey, I'm security with the Montel Williams show, and where do you think you're going? You're our responsibility while you're here doing the Phil Donahue show." And I said, "Oh, hey, I just I have a headache. I want to go to the Walgreens over there and get some aspirin." He's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna watch you guys while you walk over there." So we had a babysitter downstairs to make sure that we didn't leave.
To go buy crack cocaine.
Right.
The next day when Lauri had come back from doing her shoot, and we realized everything was cool and okay, and we ordered a fancy dinner and multiple bottles of wine. At one point in time, there's this knock on the door. It's like 12:30 at night. There's this knock on the door, and it's the security guard. And I answer the door, like, just shit-faced, wine bottle in hand, Lauri right behind me, drunk, and he's like, "So it looks like you guys are in for the night." It's the security guard, and we're just like, yeah, we're in for the night. I guess I wasn't that concerned about it.
I do
But
remember.
there was another point in time where we had gone down so Lauri could take some pictures, and the other people that were on the show, like, were coming in from partying, and like they were down drinking in the hotel bar, and they had gotten so like drunk that they were falling down, heading towards the elevator. I didn't know that they were like they were the people. I didn't have anybody to hang out with because I was just concerned friend, but they had taken Lauri out to film her like bits with other people who were going to be on the show, and so that's how she knew that. Oh fuck, man, these guys are for real. They're really pregnant and partying.
And the bartender told us about how he was like banging one of the fully pregnant guests that was on our episode.
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yeah, how did we find that out? Like, the bartender from the bar downstairs was like, took one of the other guests home, and I was just like, ah.
He's like, she doesn't have enough kids. I'm gonna give her another one.
Right. And she's not fully pregnant and addicted to whatever, like.
And she absolutely has herpes and a bunch of herpes-gonosyphilades.
Oh, these poor girls.
She's pregnant. Don't compare condoms.
So we need to get to the point now where Courtney and I think at one point I hid in a closet because they had to come and check on us because we were ordering so much wine that they're like, how can one person consume so much wine? And Courtney's like, it's just me. And I was hiding in the back of the closet. I was 19, but by this time I was a professional because I really started drinking when I was like, probably 15.
Okay. But you weren't old enough to drink legally.
I wasn't legally, and that's why I was hiding in the closet.
Okay,
and
got
that's
it.
why they were checking, because they knew that I wasn't old enough, and they knew I was staying up there, but they couldn't actually keep serving us the wine unless they did their whole check through. So I was like tucked behind the things, and I was all buried. And by the way, I'm like 5 feet tall and like 115 pounds. So I was just like being that the guy like came and did his little walkthrough. He's like, okay, I guess it's just this one person who's drinking all these bottles of wine by herself.
Well, I think we're going to get really into the episode, like into the good parts of the story. I think now is a really good time to take a word from our sponsors. So we'll be right back.
Hey sisters, have you checked out the situation downstairs? No, not in your garments, but in the food storage cellar. You up to snuff? You prepared with a minimum 3 months worth in case of apocalypse or personal tragedy? In the event you need a restock, might I recommend Rossi Ramen. If you thought there was nothing more delicious than a Rossi wine, wait until you try our line of ramen. Treat your taste buds to our salmon chardonnay, pork pineapple sangria, shrimp sauvignon, or meatball merlot. Not only will Rossi Ramen satisfy that hunger pang, 2 easy-cook packages will also deliver a Rossi-style buzz and a Rossi-style headache in the morning. Cheers!
Rossi Ramen can be found at Smith, Lee's, and other fine retailers. Family Home Evening with Bad Mormons listeners save 20% on your first purchase. Just use the promo code
Jesus wants me for a sunbeam at checkout.
Oh, hey, Mandy.
Well, hello there.
Are you registered to
I
vote?
sure am.
Oh, that's good. Me too.
I'm very excited about it. If I wasn't, though, you know where I'd go?
Where?
Headcount.org.
Oh, good.
They're
good,
a nonpartisan organization that works with the music and entertainment industry to get fans to vote.
You know what I miss? Going
What?
to live concerts.
Wasn't that fun?
It was nice. Maybe, if we had a competent government, we could go to concerts again.
That's a great idea. And how could we get there? We could
vote! Just vote!
get out
That's
there
so
and
great.
fucking vote, people. I know you don't think your vote counts. You're like all, electoral college, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit.
Well, you need to start giving a shit, motherfucker, I swear to God. And vote for your senators and congressmen, because that filibustering shit that they've been doing is bullshit, and that needs to come to an end, too.
Listen, if you're not sure if you're registered to vote, go to headcount.org, where you'll find all the information you need to be ready for Election Day.
So, register to vote at headcount.org.
And maybe we can go to a concert again someday and rock the fuck back out.
Ah, that would be awesome.
Vote, bitches.
If the Lord invited you into his home, what would you wear? Would you go with a messy hair, or a short skirt, or unclean feet?
Or stained baptismal clothing? Going to the temple is an invitation into the Lord's house.
And baptizing the dead is a sacred and important responsibility. Don't you want to be looking and feeling your best?
Well, now you can with Heavenly White.
With Heavenly White All-Purpose Cleaner, your embarrassing stains will be whiter than Jesus.
Heavenly White is a lifesaver around the house, but did you know that just a teaspoon of Heavenly White in your morning postum can help guide your soul on its path to spiritual glory?
If impure thoughts, strong drinks, and too few offspring are jeopardizing your rightful place in the celestial kingdom,
try Heavenly White, now with the added stain-fighting power of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly White is offering a special 10% discount to our listeners. Just use the promo code KOLOB at checkout. That's promo code KOLOB at checkout for 10% off your first order of Heavenly White.
all right, so let's go where we left off at.
Okay, sweet. We drank a lot.
We were wasted in the room. It was freaking wild.
We really felt like we needed to make the most of that hotel credit that was given to us. So we drank multiple bottles of wine. We had a fancy dinner. We did stay up till they picked us up at I'm going to say 6 or 7 in the morning, and we stayed up till probably
6
about
a.m. I want to say we got a half hour of us trying to sleep, being what are we doing? We shouldn't do this. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Oh God, but we can't back out now because we signed the contract.
No, we hadn't signed a contract yet. This was still a great idea because we were drunk. We got woken up in the morning, and they took us to a studio. And at the moment that we walked into the studio
lobby,
is where we were separated, and I was no longer allowed to have contact.
They're like, Courtney, you go to the left, Lauri, you go to the right, and we're and they didn't tell us that we were going to be split up, and we're just like, what? And we're like, okay, I guess this is what's happening now, and we just had to do what we were doing. And then honestly, Courtney's experience in her green room versus my experience in my green room could probably take up another 45 minutes of airtime.
Lauri, tell us what happened in the green room.
So my green room experience was all of the other pregnant girls who were also partying, and they were fully pregnant. There was one other chick who was 5 months pregnant, and she was kind of showing. I was claiming I was 2 or 4, I don't remember, 5 weeks or something like that. So there was an excuse why I wasn't showing, and everybody else was just fully pregnant and just fully addicted to drugs.
Oh, that's so depressing.
It was so, and I'm hungover and I want to puke everywhere, and I'm just oh my God, what did I do? And they're like, now you have to take this urine sample, this pregnancy test, and they're just kind of not treating us that great. It wasn't we had some bagels, dry bagels, no kind of cream cheese or butter, anything, and black coffee was served to us.
Maybe if you weren't a drug addicted whore, you would have cream cheese for your bagel.
Right?
Yeah, if you weren't such a fucking whore.
And there wasn't even like options of bagels. It was plain fucking bagels. And then I go, and now I'm like hungry because the hangover is starting to all the bright lights and like the adrenaline from the show sobered me up. And so when I go back to get my things before we get shuttled off like cattle, but yeah, back in the green room, there was just like everybody getting ready. And then these like assistants, and they were totally amping us up, where they're like telling me all these stories about what Cortney had come to me and said about me to their other people. And I'm just like, what are you talking about here? Because Cortney and I went obsessively over our script because we were super worried that we were going to get busted or turned in or whatever. I'm 19 years old. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like dealing with all of these big shots. And I'm just like, okay, so we have to, we glossed over the contract signing as well, where they totally gave us this impression of just like, you better not be lying or else you're going to be held responsible for the entire production cost of the show. And just this very vague language that's like, okay, I work as a prep cook and I make nothing, like, and I also know nothing.
Once we got in there and they gave us the contracts were a little bit scary. It did say that they took photocopies of our ID, and the contract said if you're lying, you have to pay for the production of the show. So it was a little scary, and it also gave like a number like 3,000. So it's just like, ugh,
like a monetary amount that you'd have to repay.
Right. I guess between airfare, hotel room.
Oh shit.
Right.
And transport.
And I think one of my paychecks at the time was like $245 for like 2 weeks of work or something like that. I'm just like, I can never. I'm gonna go bankrupt. Not that it even would have mattered. I was such an idiot at the time. But so anyways, so I go in there and I'm wearing my raver pants and I've got the fucking pregnant lady piss tied to my fucking legs because I still don't know what kind of pregnancy test they're gonna give me. It was absolutely so ridiculous. It was like I just knew nothing. Okay, so anywho,
in the long run, we didn't know if they were going to test her urine for drugs, and you can get weed and like piss test for weed. So we didn't know if she was going to need.
We didn't know what the F we were doing, dude.
We didn't know if she was going to need to fail a drug test.
And when they gave me the pregnancy test, I was like, fuck yes. Because it was just one of those dipsticks, and I'm just like, easy peasy, hold on, I just gotta go pee, and I just unstrapped the urine, and there it was, done.
Magic.
Like,
like magic.
Yours came up the fastest.
Yep, double checked. I was like, yes, she really is pregnant. I mean, this lady's like about to burst. There was no doubt. It was.
It's a very scary situation to be hungover and taken away from your friend and put into a scary Ricky Lake green room.
Do you mean not Ricky Lake green room?
Not Ricky Lake. It wasn't Ricky Lake.
Not Ricky Lake. Yeah, it wasn't Ricky Lake. So the not Sally Jesse Raphael green room that I got taken to after they took Lauri away from me was filled with people who were supposed to be concerned friends or concerned family. And I walked into the room and I sat down, and there are a lot of people in that room who are representative of the people who are Lauri is hanging out with, who feel like this is their 15 minutes of fame. This is their diva moment. This is their give me what I want, because you don't have a show if you don't give me what you want. There's our like little spread that they gave us. There were bagels. We had cream cheese in our dressing room. There was coffee, bottled water. There was yogurt, toast. But there were a couple of ladies, and they were bitching. In my green room too, there were a few children. Like there was one lady who brought her sister on the show. A lady and sister who brought the kid who's pregnant and partying. She also has a couple of other kids that are in the green room with us. Like, so she's already got 2 kids. She's pregnant with her 3rd kid and won't stop partying. Those kids are in my green room.
Oh no.
mom and aunt are screaming about how, like, no, that is not a breakfast. Where I come from, there's eggs, there's bacon, there's grits, there's blah, 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 blah. It needs to be eggs, bacon, grits, sausage, biscuits,
Gravy, all the gravy.
soda pop, all of this
They
stuff.
were
And so they sent some staffers down to go and fetch these items. And then a couple of other ladies see that this is working. So they start, complaining about, well, I was told that I'd have a nice outfit to wear on the show. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is your life. This is what you've lived for. I am terrified at this moment. I'm really hungover, and I really hope that there are bigger and better things in my future.
They did also bring us out a wardrobe, though, because they felt that I wasn't dressed up like a whore enough. They thought I was dressed too conservatively. So they brought out some hooker clothes for me to change into.
Did you wear them?
I don't recall.
No, if I remember correctly, you just wore jeans and like a really tight shirt.
I don't recall. Well, that's what I wanted to wear, but they wouldn't. I think I changed into one of their glitter tube tops and their black tight pants or whatever.
Tube top.
The producer, or the people who were bashing, trying to get me and Courtney against each other, they were very like persistent and pushy. They're like, no, it's not good enough. But the way they would do it, they'd be like, girl, you're not hot enough in that. You're going to national TV and you're going to look like that. Like, you need to come out here. Let me bring out these 2 clothes racks full of options in your specific size for you to choose from.
Hold on. You're not hot enough. You're not hot enough.
Because I wasn't.
Hey, 19-year-old pregnant girl, you're not hot enough to be on TV
I'm just saying,
right now.
like, I get what we're doing, and I realize that we're bashing on the whole system. But hey, 19-year-old fake pregnant girl, you're not hot enough.
You're not showing enough skin and representing your whore side enough, because we really need to play up this.
God, I hate everyone.
Drama.
Okay, sorry. Go on. Who was talking? Courtney.
So in my green room, there's these people who are barking orders at these staffers who are like jumping around and like getting people things. And meanwhile, I'm in the corner in a hoodie with the hood up and drinking a cup of coffee, eating a bagel with cream cheese, thinking this is fine. And a staffer comes up to me. He's like, hey, do you want anything? I'm like, no, I'm fine. He's like, are you sure? It seems like everybody else in here wants something. And I was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, whoa, it's really great to actually meet a normal person back here. And I'm like, that's
I would have
great.
demanded
so apparently
champagne.
They,
Had I been thinking, Charlotte, like we were drinking so much wine all night. Like we felt like such dog shit.
I was so hungover. Even if I would have had the wits about me to say, yes, give me some champagne. I barfed. There's a point in time where like they're doing people's makeup and stuff like that, and I keep on having like people are checking on me because I'm not demanding things. I don't want to go smoke. I don't want lipstick. I don't want new food. I don't want and all of the other concerned friends in my green room are demanding things like constantly, and they keep checking on me like what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, I don't need anything. I'm just here to do the show. And they're just like, well, we're worried that you're not going to be able to perform when you're out there. And I was like, I'll be able to perform. I'm fine. And then so they have like this one guy sitting by me, and the 2 kids that I told you about that are in the green room are on the floor. They bring out this like a pile of toys for them to play with. And one kid grabs one doll and grabs another doll and puts them on top of each other and starts mashing it and looks over at me and goes, ooh baby, ooh baby.
Ew.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then the other kid hops on top of another doll and with his like private parts grinds it and says, ooh baby, ooh baby, ooh baby, looking at me. And I immediately grab the strings on my hoodie and like pull my hood closed. So I was just like, oh God, take me away, take me away. And the staffer that's sitting next to me is like, let's go outside. And so I stepped outside, and he's like, I don't know about you, but at that age, I didn't know what ooh baby was. And I was like, yeah, that's disgusting. He's just like, are you going to be okay? And I was just like, yeah, I just need some water and some coffee. I drank a lot last night. I'm a grown up. Just give me some water, coffee, fine. But he kept on reiterating that every person that they deal with has like these like ridiculous expectations, and the people who are producing the show were concerned about my behavior because I wasn't in that category.
Because we're
And so
normal.
they started sending people in to talk to me that were telling me the things that Lauri was saying about me in the green room.
Which I wasn't saying at all. It had nothing to do with it.
Laurie and I were like the greatest of friends at that time, and they're just like, well, Laurie's in there talking about how much of a cunt you are, and I'm just like,
It was so
yeah, that's probably the first word that Laurie's gonna refer to me as if we're in an argument, and they're just like, yeah, she's in there talking saying you're a piece of shit and you don't really care about her baby. I'm like, yeah, I don't care about her baby because she doesn't.
You're a shitty human being.
So they're saying all these things to like try to get me to perform, and I'm just like, look, I don't need you to say these things to me. I'm going to be fine. I'm just really disgusted. I didn't say this to them, but at that point in time, I could perform. I was just so disgusted with the fact that this is real. People are pregnant and partying, and people who are supposed to be concerned friends are more concerned with getting bacon and fancy shirts to wear on TV and a hairdo and stuff. It was really gross. At that point in time, I was just like, I have enough money in my bank account to fly me and Lauri home. If I can get one of these staffers to just take me into Lauri's green room, let's just go home. Let's go. It's not worth it. But then I thought, I like money, so
Yeah.
Also, I have to assume,
I wanted to save it.
I would also have to assume that did it ruin like talk shows for you after that? Like
a little, for sure. It enlightened me and every time I would watch them, I'd be like imagining the girl with the scars that I didn't tell you about, who's when she was changing, I saw her body covered in scars, and which prompted me to kind of like start a conversation with her, and she was really reluctant to talk to me, and I was just like, okay, that's fine, that's whatever, and then I just left it alone. But then she approached me right before they took us out to start filming, and they had gone as far as like telling us what number we were going to be presented, shown or aired as, because are you going to be guest number 1, guest number 2, like what order are you going to go in? And apparently everybody wants to be guest number 1. And I was in Courtney and I were in guest number 3 slot. So they were going to show us third, because the other girl who she was the one asking me where to get the crack. She was the other white girl she was just super loud behind the camera. And she was just like, fuck this and fuck that, and don't you tell me what to do. And she was super dramatic, all arms, all loud voices, all talking. And then when it came to filming, she just turned into Mother Teresa and like they were just like, this is boring. We don't want to have anything to do with it. Then they started negotiating with me, telling me that if I'm bigger, if I'm louder, if I'm better, then I'll get the number 1 slot. And I think they realized that we were lying, because they were fully amping me up and like being like, dude, we fucking know you're covered at this point. Like, do a better job and we will air you first. And I'm just like, look at them. I was like, I got this. Like, let's fucking go already. I want to throw up everywhere. It was a full-on negotiation though, but I think I skipped ahead
a little bit. So Courtney, did it ruin talk shows for you?
No, not really. I still watch them. I enjoy trashy people and their trashy decisions to air their dirty laundry on TV. My thing going into this was we watch all these shitty shows. They're lying. They have to be lying. I mean, there's no way that people think this is a good forum to air that, you're my baby's daddy and I'm gonna prove it, or you're cheating on me and I'm gonna prove it. That's embarrassing. If that was my real life, that would be embarrassing to me. I thought that they're all gonna be liars. There's no way that this can be real. When I got there and saw that we were the only liars, it really it took a toll.
It was very very heavy.
It took a toll. We did that show. They took us out there. We played our part. We gave them their entertainment.
Yep.
And when they brought us on the stage, we did our. There's not a lot to tell. Like,
about
hey, my baby, I do what I want. Blah 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 blah.
Right. I did get brought out. Like, they filmed the first girl who was like turned out to be total Mother Teresa, and then they're like, blow it up, girl, and we will edit it to you so you get aired first. And then I was just like, I pretty much, we had the script written. We knew exactly what we were going to do, and so I was just like, I'm going to come out and I'm going to do it. And I did at the best of my.
No, you did. I remember it because you guys told me when it was going to air, so I recorded it and I had it.
Yeah, I didn't let me wear my raver pants. Anyways, so they put the spotlight on us, and then they tell us all this stuff about, like, showcasing how messed up we are. Cortney comes out. They gave her helmet hair, where her hair was short and it totally looked like a freaking helmet. And
that's
I
right.
can't exaggerate. It was just full on, like, just a helmet hair. And then they bring out this lady at the very end of the episode who's just like, I'm the adoptive mother of two kids who have alcohol poisoning or alcohol syndrome, whatever the hell it's called. And how dare you do this? And they're trying to talk all of us pregnant women out of continuing to party and while we're pregnant. And my whole thing was like, I don't give a shit if I fucking have a retarded baby, because I'm just going to give it up for adoption anyways.
And believe those were the words verbatim, by the way.
Those were verbatim that I used, because
not that Lauri would normally use that language.
1990. No, I no longer use the R word. I don't think it's acceptable. I respect.
Just also,
but yeah. It was the 1990s, and it was very common back then. And, I can't take it back. I can't. I have to.
But also, it was a character that you were playing.
It was. But I won't lie, it was a very common word that was used back then, and I probably would have.
From what I can remember from watching the video was that you had said, like, 'cause she cornered you. They cornered you. And it was, so, like, you're like, why didn't you use protection? Like, well, it was an accident. He's like, what, did you fall on his penis? You're like, oh, whatever. And then you're like, oh, people take in special need children all the time. But then she like, but then you doubled down and said, people take in retarded babies all the time. And I was just like, oh my God, Lauri.
I didn't, I'm sorry, I'm 19. What am I supposed to do?
And but as you had said too, like, Cortney usually rocks a like spiky punk rock haircut, yet she has this blown out soccer mom shit, and it was hilarious.
And it was a full on helmet hair. She wouldn't let us show any of the episodes because she was so embarrassed because of her hair.
Cortney.
Cortney.
It's not necessarily true. My hair was really embarrassing in that. It did look like a helmet.
It was.
But I was okay with us hosting with the viewing party at the Utter Street house when it happened.
Yeah, it was true. And when they did the viewing at my work, because I had taken time off drastically, and my boss was a dick who fill in the blanks. They did a full viewing for everybody, for the customers, for everybody to see. And then I stayed down in the basement, and then all this, I'm just like chopping vegetables because I'm in the prep kitchen. And then all of a sudden I get these waitresses and bartenders that are coming down all red in the face, super angry. I can't believe that you would do such a thing and you would take this type of topic so lightly. And I'm just like, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, I'm really sorry, you guys. But I digress. After we were done actually filming the show, Cortney, because that was the first time Cortney and I saw each other again after they separated us and did their psychological manipulation on us. And then they put us back together, and they're like, all right, now we got the fighting dogs ready to come to head. And we're just like, oh, thank God I can see you again. Like, I'm not alone. And then we did our little bit as best as we could. And it was interesting to see the final edit, because it wasn't really like it kind of unfolded. They did a lot of manipulation onto it.
Well, right. Didn't they pretty much try to tell you to get an abortion?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, behind
At
the
the-
scenes, though.
At the end of the show, where when they were filming, they took me off stage and they had this doctor out there, explaining to Lauri, like, well, one of Lauri's like main problems is she doesn't have health insurance, so that she doesn't know how to take care of a baby because she doesn't have health insurance. Anyway, Lauri agreed to get help, and I was like, fuck. Don't agree.
Don't agree to anything.
I folded.
Lauri agreed to accept help from the show, and then they whisked us off. They took us back to our green rooms to pick up our bags. And like Lauri had mentioned earlier on, there was already a new set of people in there ready to film the next show, and it was Fat Babies. There was a lot of
baby show.
When I went to grab my bags, I was like, why are my bags covered in chocolate and jelly?
It was the only reason I got breakfast was because they filmed the Fat Baby show after ours. I wouldn't have eaten that morning. I probably would have died on the plane.
Here's the thing: is like Lauri mentioned the person that they brought out to talk to them was the stepmother of a gal who suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome, and I was just like, shit, we didn't realize that there was going to be like, hi, we're fakers. We're
Sorry, we're making fun of something you suffer from.
Yeah. Yeah. So guess who they put in the limo on the way back to the airport with us?
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah. No.
So we have to drive
across from us.
Yeah, we had to drive back to the airport with fetal alcohol syndrome mom, and
staring me down.
She won't even like make eye contact with us. She thinks that we're garbage, and we can't tell her we're just funning.
We're just
if I recall, I just buried my head in your armpit the entire ride to hide from her because I was afraid of her.
We got to the airport, and one of the pregnant chicks finds us outside. We're out there. I light up a cigarette. She's like, give me a smoke. And, not even like a, hey, you got an extra cigarette? It's like, give me a smoke. I'm just like, oh, you're so bossy when you're pregnant.
Was that the same one that followed us around the airport until we caught our flight? Because she was the one with the scars all over her body.
She was awfully mean.
Yeah.
That was her.
She had I would like to hear that woman's life story sometime.
Well, so the other funny thing is the episode we did a couple weeks ago, the roommate from hell. We put a picture of said roommate and everybody, and the picture of Lauri looking very pregnant because it was a joke, right? Didn't you guys send that picture?
We did.
To not Sally Jesse Raphael to be like, oh no, she decided to keep it and she's turned her life around.
Their idea of reaching out and giving Lauri the help that she needed was calling us and giving her the number for Planned Parenthood, and then we had those pictures taken. They called back, I think, wanting to do a when they called to do an update. I said that Lauri had agreed to have the child, and she had moved back to live with her Mormon family to raise it in a polygamous lifestyle.
Which I did move back to Utah at the time, but that wasn't why. And Courtney was the one getting the phone call. So I'm getting these updates being like, yeah, the show is calling for an update, and this is what Courtney told him. I'm like, oh, geez. Meanwhile, my super Mormon dad, who is like,
well, he didn't think it was very funny.
No, I didn't want him to see it ever. And
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
It was either you or Tiffany.
It was
somebody
me.
Decides to.
I could take full response because I recorded it. So
he just holds his head in his hand, and he just shakes his head, and he's just like, Lauri, why in the world would you do something like this? And I'm just like, Dad, I never wanted to disappoint him, and I didn't think any of my sisters would be assholes enough to show him.
Sorry,
even though in reality, I should have known that I'm going on public television and eventually is going to see it anyways, but still, after it, because they kept repeating the episode, re-airing the episode. I guess it was a good one or something, because I would get these random phone calls from people being like, Lauri, you're pregnant? You had a baby? Oh my God, congratulations. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You're like, I don't know. And they're like, we just on TV on
That was so last year.
All I know is that I did not make him a proud father that day, and
Listen,
I'm sorry,
don't
Dad.
worry, me
I
and
still
Mandy
love
make
you.
him not a proud father every Monday
oh
at 2
my
a.m.
God.
My mom, at that time, my mom worked at a bingo hall, and when I told her we were going to go and do this, she's just like, "Oh my God, please don't! You know all of these people."
Glorious. Well, girls, I'm at 2% battery, so I might
right.
cut out any time.
Lauri, it was a
FYI.
pleasure.
It was, yes, it was indeed.
Well, in case anybody thought that we lived in Beverly Hills. Oh, are you recording? Oh, perfect.
I guess maybe I should have told you that.
Nice, yeah. So,
Let's go get some. I really want some ice cream now.
that sounds like a solid plan.
So, listen, we hope that you guys really enjoyed that little bit of episode that we tried to drunkenly record for you last night.
I think it went really well. And we all know that in times of need, I can step up and be responsible. So you're welcome, world.
And I can also step down way, way far down to the bottom of the rock bottom.
And moral of the story is, if you get the chance to go on a daytime talk show, you should take it.
No, you don't. Did you even listen to the story?
No, I learned no lessons. I cannot wait for my 15 minutes of fame.
All right. Thanks for joining us again. We've learned
Like,
a very
subscribe.
important lesson. There's a certain amount of wine that's fun, and there's a certain amount of wine that's gone too far.
Perfect. Let's go get some ice cream.